Finally back home, after all that time. Hello and welcome, how you all doing? Oh, I'm telling you, it feels good to be back home. I've missed that place. But as we are back home, we are faced with lots of unfinished businesses to attend to, right? Like the little buildings around the port side I've mentioned. Of course we have our ship, which is... look at her, isn't she gorgeous? By the way, we still haven't named her yet, so we have to think about something. Of course we have the pier, the crane, but it's not enough to really call it a port, is it? So I would suggest that we finally go ahead, add a little fishing shack, a storage shed, stuff like that. But before we can attend that, you see, some of my tools have taken quite a beating and some of them are not even diamond in the first place, so I desperately need to fix that up. Oop. Aww. Beep. Hell yeah. Look. Bling. Oh, that's a good axe. Bing. Hello there. It's been a while. Sea pickle, slime ball, blue dye. Okay, interesting. Huh. Oh, and you left us a message. Beware of the darkness within? What is that supposed to mean? That was not the intent, but oh well. Oh well. That's just the best. Now the llamas are spitting at each other apparently. Okay, one was the alpha llama. Yep, that's the alpha llama. But is the villager dude not trying to come back? I hope he is not, because otherwise that will not end good for him. Not at all. Alright, I'm back with my tools all fixed up and some resources gathered, and I was thinking about having a little fishing shack to this side, which, you know, the main building side will be over there, but there will be just one over here. Alright, I now added this little stair, and I think we maybe even wrap it around here, and we could connect it with the walkway up there, which would make perfect sense. First of all, let's give it a bit more organization, but you know, obviously that walkway around is pretty much floating, and there needs to be something that holds it up, that makes it look kind of believable. So the idea would be maybe even dark oak to give it a bit of a contrast, to have just those things here, given the idea that they give a little bit of support. And I'm not too sure, but if we put trapdoors here to kind of now unflatten that edge, you know, that looks very plain. And that also gives us a little bit of a raining while not being very high. After all, you should be able to fish from here. I mean, obviously you're not gonna really fish anything from here except for sandfish. But we'll terraform that later, so don't worry about that. And the first building is done. Let me quickly show you around. It is of course merely a simple fishing hut, nothing too crazy. We have a traditional triangle shaped roof, a little bit rounded out towards the top, so it's not quite as tall. Now we have some decoration for the entrance area, and I also want to put some more barrels around, because that's what the place needs, I think, and there's it around somewhere. We have iron bars for the windows and spruce trapdoors for shutters. Interior we actually have quite a fancy ceiling. I love the design quite a lot. So the only thing really missing is an interior, but I think we'll save that for later, for when we actually populate the place, because I indeed want some villagers here. Wouldn't that be awesome to have actually people running around that harbor? Yeah, I think so too. But let's not get carried away too much, since we have lots more building to do, don't we? But I think something like that could work. Maybe we should try out mixing a little bit of deep slate into the mix. Okay, I have more walls. Ooh, that does look good. We also have just regular bricks. I mean, just bricks. The other ones are tiles, aren't they? Yeah, I like the tiled look. We could, of course, do kind of a gradient. That could actually look nice. Ooh, I think I like that. Oh, but of course the wall blocks don't properly connect upwards as the stairs are not full blocks. That's awkward. And a hot moment later, I've changed a lot of things. Let me show you around. First of all, I decided to make the stairs smaller after all, just so we have a little bit more space between the house and the stairs. Then I did change the outer corner after all, made it a little bit more rounder, and I think it looks great. And yes, I also decided to get rid of this circular shape we had in here because we have enough space for the crane, even like that. So I could move forward the stairs from here to here, and it's much more accessible compared if we had it all the way back here. And yes, because I got rid of this little cutting in here, also extended the walls and rounded them off. So all in all, that makes for a great look even from the outside. And I think it looks rather complete, doesn't it? And now if we go up again for the buildings, the most important one is the warehouse or storage hall, which will go here. Then we have a very slim but long building here, which I think could make for a great trading hall. We're now thinking about putting actual villagers in here. And you know, it's also right in the center, so perfectly accessible. That would be great. And off to the corner, that building will be a little office, you know, where it's marked down what goods go in and go out, where taxes are collected and stuff like that. Problem. For the next step I need quite a good number of bone blocks, and for bone blocks you need bone meal. Unfortunately I don't have too much of that. Of course we could just compost crops for bone meal, but that's quite a tedious process for the amount of stuff I need. So I think we have to go a little bit on a skeleton hunt. Wish me luck. Okay, there's all the stuff. Where are all the zombies coming from? Seriously. That's... oh, gosh. Bye! Yeah, eating and shielding at the same time is a little bit difficult. That's a good doggo. Probably should have done that earlier. Ta-dam! Okay, that was definitely the introverted skeleton. Dude's fancy. Okay, fine. Gosh. Oh no, there's a baby. I hate that. Good, taken care of. No, 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 don't. Oh, iron. That's lucky. Don't look at me like that. Oh no, the poor sheep. Oh, you hear that? We have a special goat here. Of course that had to happen. Oh. Oh, there's a villager. Let's get that guy. Get in the boat. Thank you. That's a bit too much. Oh, gosh. Hi there. Just wanted to tell you, we're finally done. Let me give you a tour. At the entrance area of the harbor we start with the tax tower, as I've been calling it. A little L-shaped building with, you know, actually quite a short tower with a very tall roof. I've decided to use tiles for the roof of the tower, whilst the rest of the building has just regular cobbled deep slate. And we have quite a fancy entrance area, don't we? With the dark oak stairs and the dark oak doors. The interior, on the other hand, we have the fancy ceiling once again, but is so far quite barren, and I won't even bother showing you the upstairs. We have multiple floors also in the roof, so we can use it, but probably more for things like storage or things that have to be out of the way. The second building I bought was a storage hall. It generally has the same design. The inside is completely empty, except for this lonely crafting bench. We have a similar ceiling design. Some small windows on top poking through. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. But I think it looks perfect for what's intended to do, doesn't it? But most important of all is a market hall. From the original idea it changed quite a lot. Originally I planned to go the roof the other way around. So we have one slanted big side visible from the front and not these triangular shapes, but I think that looks much better that way. And down here it goes also deeper. We have little stands which are supposed for 2 villagers each and 3 on the corner ones, so we have in total place for 12 villagers. Of course we still have to think about a way how we can keep the villagers in and zombies out. Maybe just put trapdoors down here. That would be probably the simplest solution. We will figure something out. But I might want to show you that we have access from behind to put the villagers in. And these are villager approved, so we have those trapdoors we can close once the villagers are in. And here I have a bit more space for storage. The tower unfortunately isn't really accessible, but that's not that important. after all, as it's, well, mostly it's for the time, you know? The big clock tower. And I'm the first to admit, the proportions are a bit funky, but that's exactly how I want it to be. A little bit, I don't know, steampunky-ish? That's probably the wrong word, but you know what, the general theme is supposed to be medieval. There is a strong fantasy aspect to it. I mean, just look at the ship. And I think these little bit over the top proportions go very well, especially with something iconic like a clock tower. Don't you think? And then I have also put that little, how would you call it? A small hut on top of it with a big roof. And I also have a plan of how to use the interior space in here. As I said, it's not really accessible, but it also doesn't have to be accessible. But I will use that space. And the other important thing, of course, is the visibility. And that's also where I used the bone blocks. In creative, I was testing all kind of white-ish materials and none of them really worked for me. I could have used white concrete powder, but I did not like the fact that it was powder and, you know, proper concrete wouldn't have looked right. They're ever so slightly off-white, while still being very white and clean in general. Also, I think the warped wood works out quite well. I was trying all kinds of different things. Unfortunately, there are no black fences in the game. You know, I used dark oak at first, but that was too similar to the border. But yeah, that turquoise tone I think is very visible and also contrasts nicely to the purple flags on the ship. And now while it's getting dark, you may realize that the clock face is actually lit. I have hidden a few jack-o'-lanterns on the roof and put trapdoors over them, so you can't see them. And it's enough to give ever so slightly illumination to the clock faces. And you know, maybe it's even better as it gives only of that, you know, that ambience glim kinda. It's not totally bright, just a little bit, so you can see it at night. I think that's perfect. All that's really left to do now is to decorate that place. But I think all that has to wait for next episode, when we're also trying to attempt to cure villagers. As you've seen, I've already found one zombie villager, so we only have to find another one. You know, get into brewing and all that fun stuff. As eventually I want to have a villager for every profession in here. We have definitely enough space. Also, at least the fisherman will go down here in the fishing hut. So there's lots of work to be done. And I'm quite excited for that. You know, it already looks... I already love that place, but it's a bit clean, a bit too clean. But once we have all the decorations in, the villagers inside the buildings, it will be lovely. So with all of that, I thank you so much for watching this episode and for spending your time with me. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you like this place, and I hope you're also excited to see how it continues. If you are, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and leave a like or comment if you feel inclined to do so. With all that, have a great time and see you soon. Bye!